Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. The Palestinian Authority faces a massive cut in U.S. aid now that the House has passed the Taylor Force Act, targeting payments and benefits given to terrorists. Dale Hurd has the story.
It's called Pay to Slay, rewarding Palestinian terrorists who kill Israelis and others, including Americans, even as U.S. tax dollars flow to the Palestinian Authority. The Taylor Force Act would pressure Palestinian leaders to stop it. The measure passed the House by unanimous consent Tuesday.
With this legislation, we are forcing the PA to choose between U.S. assistance and these morally reprehensible policies.
The Taylor Force Act gets its name from the American combat veteran murdered while on a school trip to Israel in 2016. The 21-year-old terrorist behind the brutal stabbing of Force was killed by police, but he was praised by the Palestinian Authority government and his family given lifelong financial compensation. The compensation given to terrorists includes pension for life, triple the average salary in Palestinian areas, free tuition, health insurance, and clothing allowance for life, and a free monthly stipend.
These policies incentivize terrorism.
The payments are on a sliding scale. The more successful the attack, the bigger the payout. The Palestinian Authority has spent a whopping $355 million on the direct funding of terrorism this year. The U.S. is the Palestinian Authority's largest international donor, giving it over $700 million in indirect aid last year.
The Palestinian Authority is so dependent on foreign aid. The United States gives them foreign aid. The European Union gives them foreign aid. Most of the Western European countries give them aid. They have the power to stop this.
The legislation, which now goes on to the Senate, would cut off this funding beginning next year if the Palestinians do not halt Pay for Slay. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
President Trump delivering on campaign promises. Today, he's expected to make a major announcement on Israel. Senior White House officials say President Trump will announce plans today to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. He'll also direct the State Department to begin moving the U.S. Embassy there from Tel Aviv.
Senior White House officials say the move is based on the recognition of reality because of the fact that Jerusalem has been Israel's seat of power for the last 7 decades. CBN's David Brody asked about the move at Tuesday's White House press briefing.
David?
Yeah, Sarah, can you tell me a little bit about the process and timing as how the president got to the potential Jerusalem announcement tomorrow? Can you have somewhat of a backstory on that to the degree that you can at this point?
I can tell you that it was a very thoughtful interagency process.
Quick follow-up, and evangelicals' role in this, how crucial has that been in terms of the Faith Advisory Council?
Look, the president wanted to make the decision. That was the best decision for the United States.
It's a decision evangelicals applaud, and a promise Trump made to them on the campaign trail.
What about this whole embassy question? This idea that the embassies in Tel Aviv, and I know Cruz and Rubio, they have legislation. What's that? Yeah, they want it in Jerusalem. What do you think about that?
I am for that 100%. Mm-hmm. We are for that 100%. They are our best ally in the Middle East, and they've really been loyal to us. We have not been loyal to them.
The news is already sparking opposition in parts of the Middle East, with Turkey threatening to cut ties to Israel, Saudi Arabia speaking out against the move, and the Palestinians calling for 3 days of rage. As a result, the U.S. military has placed troops on alert. The Palestinians want East Jerusalem as their capital, and Trump declaring Jerusalem as the capital destroys that hope. So the move could threaten peace efforts between the Israelis and the Palestinians. On the streets of Jerusalem, CBN News found overwhelming support for the new approach, even if it does cause major problems.
President Trump is a very good man. He loves Israel, and I love him.
I think it's time to make some changes.
The administration still hasn't decided where the U.S. Embassy will be built in Jerusalem, and acknowledge it could take years to complete the move. Even so, the days of kicking the can down the road appear to be over. White House officials believe the United States' position of ambiguity on Jerusalem and the embassy hasn't advanced the prospect of peace. They think that taking it off the negotiation table will help both sides come to an agreement on bigger issues that keep them apart. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Today's CBN's online political talk show, Faith Nation, takes an in-depth look at Israel. Pastor and New York Times best-selling author John Hagee joins the show to discuss why Israel is important to Christians and the Trump administration's support of the Holy Land. You can catch Faith Nation beginning at 12:30 Eastern on the CBN News Facebook page, and you'll find that at facebook.com/CBN News. Because baker Jack Phillips followed his religious beliefs and refused to make a cake celebrating a gay marriage, he lost 40% of his business and had to lay off half his staff. His case was heard before the Supreme Court on Tuesday. Paul Strand brings us that story.
Because baker Jack Phillips followed his religious beliefs and refused to make a cake celebrating a gay marriage, he's lost 40% of his business and had to lay off half his staff. It drives him to tears sometimes, as it did outside the Supreme Court after his case was heard.
There have been many tears. And many difficult days for us. I've had to stop creating the wedding art that I love. I've faced death threats and harassment.
But the homosexual couple he wouldn't make the cake for say a defeat for them could open the door to discrimination that could hurt not only gays but others as well.
If a business owner is allowed to pick and choose who they serve based on their strongly held beliefs, could a hotel owner refuse to rent a room to an interracial couple because his faith believed that the races should not mix?
Phillips, though, fought all the way to the Supreme Court because he doesn't believe government should have the right to order Americans to support something in direct contradiction of their conscience and sincerely held beliefs.
It's hard to believe that the government is forcing me to choose between providing for my family and my employees and violating my relationship with God. That is not freedom. That is not tolerance.
Up here at the Supreme Court, there's plenty of people representing both sides of this issue because both sides feel there is so much on the line for them.
Family Research Council's Tony Perkins says constitutional freedoms are at risk if a Christian baker like Phillips can be forced to express a message his conscience opposes.
This case is not about same-sex marriage. It's about dealing with the ramifications of the court's decision a couple of years ago that puts at risk the ability to truly have First Amendment freedom.
Over on the other side of the plaza, a wife and mother of transgenders says cake baker Phillips is discriminating, plain and simple.
If he makes wedding cakes, what difference does it make who he's serving it to? He's not there to judge their marriage. He's there to make cakes.
Jamie Grant, a top official in the Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays organization.
We can't turn the clock back on the way that we live. This is an attempt to erode our way of life.
Back on the other side, Republican Congressman Steve King says the court is attacking the very essence of the First Amendment if it rules against Phillips and his bake shop.
For the government to compel people, first of all, to violate their conscience, and then conduct any kind of action that violates their conscience, it is completely untenable in this country.
The justices in the 1.5-hour hearing seemed torn about the ramifications of the case, their questions suggesting they didn't want to hurt civil rights, but neither did they want to jeopardize freedoms guaranteed by the First Amendment.
What's so suspenseful about this case is the swing vote. Justice Anthony Kennedy has ruled many times for gay rights, but also ruled many times for free speech rights. So the case really is, at this point, a toss-up.
He's written a lot of the decisions dealing with same-sex marriage and sort of seeing himself as the defender of that.
On the other hand, though,
he's been one of the great defenders of free speech. He's written some of the best opinions out there. All he really has to do is follow that precedent, follow that idea that the government can't compel speech, and that ought to be a clear ruling for Jack.
We won't know for quite some time what that ruling will be, since the High Court usually takes months before it issues a decision. Paul Strand, CBN News, the Supreme Court.
In other news, people who mutilate the genitals of young girls in the name of religion or culture may soon face stiff new penalties in the House. May face those stiff new penalties. The House of Representatives this week voted unanimously for the Stopping Abusive Female Exploitation Act. The legislation triples the federal penalty for female genital mutilation from 5 to 15 years in prison and calls on states to implement reporting requirements. Earlier this year, 3 people, including 2 doctors, were arrested in Michigan for mutilating the genitals of 7-year-old girls as part of their brand of Islam. Wildfires in Southern California continue to burn and destroy thousands of acres. Ferocious Santa Ana winds and dry conditions are fueling 4 wildfires, and it has sparked a state of emergency. As you can see, the fire is spreading across major highways, hillsides, and neighborhoods.
Something blew over, caught the palm trees on fire. When the palm trees caught on fire, it just started. We have family that go to the church that live all around here. Fire department's done a wonderful job. They saved all of our friends' homes on this side of the street.
The latest fires have forced about 65,000 residents to leave their homes. Weather forecasters say the dangerously low humidity will continue to fuel the fires at least through Friday. It's called the source of all chronic diseases, and you are putting it in your body, whether you know it or not. Coming up, hear how you can break your sugar addiction and restore your health. Welcome back. It's the holiday season and many people are going to be eating even more sugary treats than usual. What they should know is new research reveals that people who consume plenty of sugar are more than twice as likely to die from heart disease. Lori Johnson shows us that's just one of the many reasons to give up sugar and artificial sweeteners.
When we think of addiction, we tend to focus on drugs and alcohol. But more doctors say we should also consider sugar.
Sugar is the source of all chronic disease. It's one of the biggest contributors. And we know that solid tumors, cancers, feed on sugar.
Dr. Vincent Pedre is one of a growing number of physicians warning consuming too much sugar not only fuels cancer, but also heart disease and Alzheimer's.
And let me clarify that, because when I say consuming too much sugar, people think, well, I don't eat dessert, so I don't have a lot of sugar. But then they're eating bread, rice, pasta, or scones. They're not thinking of that as sugar. But sugar comes from all of these sources. We break down the carbohydrates and they become sugar.
An estimated 3/4 of Americans are addicted to sugar and don't know it. But food manufacturers do. They add sugar to nearly everything, including things that might not seem sweet, like crackers and yogurt, to keep customers coming back for more. Most people might be shocked to discover they consume 100 times more sugar than their ancestors did back in the 1800s. And that's at the root of their health issues.
Bloating, abdominal pain, but also sinus congestion, mental fog, memory issues, fatigue, achiness, joint pains. These are all symptoms of consuming too much sugar in all of its forms. But people don't connect the two.
Scientists used lab animals to prove sugar is even more addictive than illicit drugs.
So sugar stimulates the same parts of the brain as cocaine. So I tell people that sugar is cocaine for your brain. And by that I mean it affects the dopamine pathways. And dopamine is the neurotransmitter that makes you feel good, that things are great.
A little is never enough.
Because that's the design of the neural circuit in the brain. It's going to want more hits. And it keeps wanting more and more because it becomes desensitized to small amounts.
That's why he recommends quitting sweets cold turkey.
The craving is not going to last longer than 10 to 20 minutes. So if you don't give in to the craving initially, eventually it's going to pass because your body is going to realize that it doesn't really need that for survival.
Or at least substituting whole fruit.
Now, the chocolate chip cookie is going to be a much faster hit for the brain. So you get that quicker satisfaction. If you have a fruit, let's say an orange or some berries, you need to give it a little more time. The feedback is going to happen. It's just going to take a couple of minutes.
When it comes to sugar substitutes, while whole fruit is okay, avoid artificial sweeteners because research shows they're actually worse than the real thing. In his book, Happy Gut, Dr. Pedre explains that artificial sweeteners harm our immune system by disrupting the bacteria in our digestive tract.
It reduces a type of bacteria that tends to be found in lean, healthy people. And it increases another type of bacteria in this genus called Bacteroidetes that is found in people that are obese.
Studies show people who regularly use artificial sweeteners gain more weight. Their ingredients trigger insulin resistance.
If you're becoming deaf and you have to turn the volume up higher, Your body is becoming deaf to the signal, the insulin signal. So your body jacks up the insulin. But if insulin is high, what happens is it tells your body, it turns on genes that say, store fat.
The good news? Intermittent fasting can often reverse insulin issues. That means, for instance, going without food for 12 hours.
The idea behind intermittent fasting is that when you're not eating, you're allowing your insulin levels to drop. You're allowing insulin receptors to reset. So then what's happening towards the end of the fast is you're increasing insulin sensitivity. So you're making your body insulin sensitive again.
Intermittent fasting also repairs our cells and turns on longevity genes. So it might not be easy, but giving up sweets in their many forms, including artificial sweeteners, could pay off big time. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Up next, a story of forgiveness. We're sitting down with an officer and the innocent man he sent to prison. A crooked cop, an innocent man, and an unlikely journey of forgiveness and friendship. Sounds like a movie, but that sums up the real-life story of Jamil McGee and Andrew Collins. Andrew is the crooked cop, and Jamil is the man he sent to jail for a crime he did not commit. Today, they're best friends. Ephraim Graham brings us the story.
This story begins February 8th, 2006, here in Benton Harbor, Michigan, a town of about 10,000 people. Two of them, Jamil McGee and former police officer Andrew Collins.
So, Mel, you are on your way to see your son for the very first time, and you get arrested. Take me back to that day.
Yeah, I was. My son's mother was on her way to bring him to me for the first time. Our relationship was kind of rocky, so this was a good thing, you know. So I had just got pulled over earlier that morning for driving on suspended license. So I was like, I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to take that chance. So my cousin's friend was at the house, and I was living with my aunt at this time, and I asked him, can I get a ride? And he said, okay, cool, fine, I'll take you over there. And we get over there, I get my phone, I go inside the store. And when I came out of the store, this guy was approaching me, talking about he's a cop and where's the dope? And I'm like, what dope? And I kept walking around him because I'm like, I ain't got time for this. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you are, let me go and get home. And he was like, no, and reached out his badge and was like, yeah, where's the dope? And I'm like, oh man, I ain't got nothing. And I dropped my bags and, you know, he searched me, and he searched me twice and still found nothing. And then that time I was just like, okay, I don't got nothing. I started to unbuckle my pants and just let my pants fall, and I was just like, I don't got nothing. We get to the station and I was being booked for possession with intent to deliver crack cocaine.
Not only booked, but convicted. And Andrew, you're that officer.
That's correct.
You see signs. You can clearly see as he is telling you he has nothing, but you pursue anyway. Why?
Yeah, so that morning I had caught a guy with some crack cocaine, and he made a phone call and said that he was ordering crack from this big-time drug dealer that I had heard of before. Had never met the guy, but now that guy is the target in my brain. I'm going after this big-time drug dealer. It's going to advance my career, all those ego boosters. So he tells me what vehicle they're going to be in, where they're going to be. I show up, the vehicle's there, and there's one guy in the vehicle, but he's got some physical disabilities, and I knew my guy didn't. So I said, okay, that's not the guy. He's involved, but where's my guy? And then Jamil comes out of the store, and I thought, there's my guy. He looked like a drug dealer. What the heck does a drug dealer look like, right? He wasn't dressed much differently than he is now. And I can tell you, my boy's not a drug dealer, right? So I approached him and thought, there's my guy. So I initiated the conversation with him in a very arrogant, very boastful, I got you type of way. There was really drugs brought there that day, not by Jamil. He just caught a ride with the guy. But by the end of the day, he's sitting in jail under the wrong name because I thought he was the guy. So it was 2 days later, the fingerprints came back that that's Jamil McGee, not the guy I was looking for. So that should have, if the system doesn't fail, that should release him right there. But what happens is the FBI calls me and says, what's going on with this? We thought you had our guy. And I just made up a story and said, Oh, I just confused the names. It was really Jamel McGee, and I wrote a supplemental report and later lied at his trial and in front of a jury and in front of a judge, and he was convicted.
And this is not the first time you had done that?
And by the end of my career, I was planting drugs at crime scenes. I was taking money off people. I was taking money from the city that I worked for. I had fallen so far so fast, and it all blew up in my face.
Andrew finds himself in prison, serving time for locking up innocent men like Jamel.
In jail, what are you thinking? You have not seen your son that you were going to see for the very first time. You have all these years in jail, and you know that you're in there for something you didn't do.
I was just thinking of anger and how I can get back and harming him. Actually, I made a goal for myself to hurt him as soon as I got home.
So you do get out some years later, and eventually you see him.
Yeah.
Do you hurt him?
God had a different plan.
He had a different plan.
Yeah, and it wasn't mine. So, and at that moment, when I saw him and I was squeezing his hand, and my mind, myself, the flesh was telling me to hit this man. You're gonna do what you gotta do, get it over with. And my son was right there. In that moment, I'm like, man, I'm teaching my son firsthand how to make these mistakes.
Wow.
You know, so no, I don't want to hurt him. You know, and God had already worked it out on me to, you know, to let this thing go, because holding that and dealing with that was far more complicated than doing this.
How do you receive that forgiveness?
This was about a year after I got out of prison. We run into each other in Benton Harbor, and that day I apologized to him, but it didn't come across as if he had forgiven me. That day didn't end the way that I wanted it to. But then God brought us back together 4 years later through the cafe that I was working at. And that day, as we sat and talked, I started apologizing to Jamel again, because I felt like God had given me a second chance to say I'm sorry. And he was almost offended. He was leaning away from me. He was like, stop it, it's over, it's forgiven. You meant it that day in the park, and you mean it now.
Yeah.
Stop it. And I said, Jamel, can we walk this thing out as friends? He said, I think God wants us to.
That's it for now on CBN NewsWatch. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.